Bhupen. In fact, we're going straight across to the Campa Cola Housing Society in Mumbai. And on time, the BMC municipal authorities have arrived to start cutting off gas, power and electricity. Remember, the demolition day, the final day for the residents of those 102 illegal flats to vacate is today. But they're not having any of this. They've been planning the protests, forming a human chain to block the municipal authorities from entering. They've carried out a havan this morning as well there, and are talking about being singled out. Shoaib Ahmed is there on the ground. There's some amount of chaos. Shoaib, take us through what's going on.
Amrita, as the deadline was 11:30 a.m. this morning, the BMC officials are right now standing outside the gate of the Campa Cola compound. And as expected, the residents are blocking their access to the compound. Now, what they have done is there are two gates to the compound. On both the gates, on the inside, residents are standing and not allowing the BMC officials to enter. The gates are barricaded as well. And as we've been showing, there's a havan which is going on one of the just inside one of the gates. This was on expected lines, and as of now, the BMC officials are trying to somehow enter the compound. They're right now standing outside the compound, and we'll try and talk to the residents and try and come in. But as of now, residents inside the gate are standing and blocking access and shouting slogans of we want justice and adamant basically to not allow the BMC officials to enter. So as of now, this standoff has begun, which was expected to take place, and there is a difference between the scenes that we saw in November last year, when there was a full-blown confrontation with the ugly heckling and some sort of violence as well, where the gate was broken by the BMC official. But this time, it seems to be a soft approach, both by the BMC and also the residents. It remains to be seen how it pans out, whether the BMC pushes more aggressively or not is something that we'll have to see.
And Shoaib, you were telling us earlier the BMC is videotaping this entire process. They do not want to use force, and obviously we're hoping for some sort of peaceful resolution. But at several levels, both parties now feeling that they have no option but to continue what they're doing.
That's right. The logic behind recording this whole exercise, this is the step one of the demolition process, is that once you video record the whole proceedings, then the BMC intends to go to the Supreme Court and tell the court that, look, your order was there, we were executing your order, and this is the response, this is how we were obstructed and prevented from carrying out our duty. And the BMC is clear, if they don't get access into the compound, then they will approach the court and file a contempt of court proceeding against the residents. So this is a kind of evidence that they are building up and creating so that can be help to them when they approach the court. So that is the logic behind the video recording the whole exercise. And what sources within the BMC senior officials are also telling us is that unlike the last time, that is in November 2013, this time they may not go out in a much more aggressive manner where heavy machinery, JCB machines were used, police force was used in a big way, and some of the residents had complained that they were heckled as well. So this may not happen this time, as they want to explore this option of going to the court and filing contempt of court proceeding. That's why the logic of recording. As you can see, BMC officials are now outside the compound. I'm standing inside the compound along with the residents, and all the residents are blocking both the gates of the compound and sloganeering. So as of now, BMC officials haven't been successful in making their way into the compound.
And you know, we've been tracking this stand-up with you since before November, which is what Shoaib was referring to when the demolition was about to begin. The Supreme Court ordering a stay, giving residents till May. but in May rejecting their appeal. So, Shoaib, the residents you're speaking to who feel that there's been time for authorities to move in another way, at the same time that belies what's happening legally, and municipal authorities have little choice but to come in and now cut the gas power of these illegal flats.
Yeah, Amrita, your question, there was some problem in the line, but let me tell you one thing. What the general feeling within the residents is that, fine, there was a Supreme Court order, but that order was stayed in November last year, and the court had categorically told the authorities to work with the government and the municipal corporation and find a solution. Now, this is their contention that there was not enough efforts taken by the government and the municipal body to implement that order of the Supreme Court as well. So this is their contention. The other contention on the other side of the municipal corporation and the government, first to start with the government, is that if you allow this kind of a lenient approach to this illegality, which has been acknowledged by the Supreme Court. The order, the verdict is very harsh in this case against the residents. Then you open up a Pandora's box. There are hundreds of illegal constructions, buildings, and establishments here in Mumbai. And will you legalize all of them? So that's the question that the government was faced with, and that's why their approach of not going out of the way to legalize these illegal tax. So this is the bone of contention where the residents are bitter about the fact that the government, when the Supreme Court had opened up a window of hope for them, hadn't tried enough. And that's why they have put forth this demand that if you are going after us for our illegal flats, then do ensure that you're going after all the thousands of other flats as well in the city which are illegal. So this is the main point of contention. But very frankly and factually, the door of any possibility of a favorable verdict is now over for the residents, and that's why the BMC is clear that they are going ahead and implementing the court order, whereas the residents are stuck on the demand that that order also had certain other aspects which were not implemented.
So that's how the legal case has panned out, which is why the municipal authorities are there. Just to tell our viewers who are not in Mumbai perhaps following this, they're there to cut the power, water and gas to these 102 illegal flats in Campa Cola Housing Society. Shoaib is inside the compound. Shoaib, you're saying residents have blocked essentially the two gates, the 2 points of entrance for the municipal authorities who are looking to come in, who are recording these proceedings in keeping with the court case that's going on.
That's right. The recording of this whole exercise of trying to enter the compound is being done by the BMC, and they were very categorical about this. They are saying that we have learned a few lessons from our last attempt in November when they tried to enter the compound in a similar fashion. Last time we were outside the gate and these gates of the compound were very heavily barricaded. Bamboo sticks were used to absolutely reinforce the gate locked, and there was a big confrontation between the residents and the authorities. In fact, what they had also done last time was park their cars on the inside of the gate and so as to prevent the access of the authorities. This time they have not done that. They have initiated a havan, Sankat Mochan havan that they're calling, right at the entrance, and that is a kind of a soft approach to prevent the authorities from entering the compound, and they are forming a human chain right at the gate and preventing the BMC officials from entering the gate. Now, what sources in the BMC indicated to us yesterday is that they will not go out they will not make very aggressive attempts to enter the gate because of the ugly scenes which were seen last time. And they will ask the residents once in the morning, then afternoon, then again in the evening. And if their attempts are unsuccessful, they intend to go ahead and file a contempt court petition against the residents. That will perhaps worsen the case for the residents, because then the Supreme Court may also not may take a stern and a harsh view of the steps that the residents have taken of blocking access of BMC officials. They say that they are just implementing the order of the court, and that's their duty. So it is a complicated kind of case now, where the residents are sticking on the emotional cord of the fact that they're losing their homes, and they will not give in very easily. They will fight at the last moment. The BMC officials stuck on their point that they are implementing court's order, and they don't want to be seen committing a contempt of court when the court asks them tomorrow, what have you done about the verdict that we had given last year?
So in a way, both sides really sticking to their stand. Both sides feel they're interpreting the court verdict. Remember, as we've been telling people, the residents there losing their last appeal in May. They were given till May, that stay from November till May. We're showing images of that Havan, Shoaib, that you were talking about a little earlier, that human chain, and of course, increasingly getting images of the TV crews that are there to record all of this. Shoaib, what are the options really if the standoff continues? Because we've heard so many political leaders from Mumbai making this an issue.
Well, the political class has clearly, after last month's order of the Supreme Court where it dismissed the plea made by, a fresh plea made by the residents, the political class has understood that beyond a point they can't be seen as supporting the residents openly when the court's order is totally against them. And that's why they are not being seen publicly, whereas we spoke to some leaders of the BJP.
Okay.
China NC was here a short while ago. Some leaders from the Maharashtra Navnirman Sena of Raj Tate.
Right. Shoaib, just hold on for one moment, because we have Majid Memon on the phone line with us. Can you just take us through how this case is, the standoff, of course, continuing despite what we're seeing from the Supreme Court? How does this now play out?
See, today's situation, which the whole nation is watching, and practically all the electronic media cameras are focusing on the plight of the people who are asked to wind up and being made dishoused. Some of them have no alternate roofs on their heads, which certainly is very painful. But at the same time, they were given several opportunities to assert their rights, make up a case, and then obtain a proper legal remedial order, which unfortunately they did not succeed for whatever reasons. Now it is a question of law versus humanity. Now definitely the rule of law has to prevail. We may feel sympathies with these people. We may have all, humanitarian considerations. Nonetheless, when the highest court of the land has already mandated that they must go, they should obey the orders of the court. And therefore, what we feel is that it is very unfortunate that the situation has occurred today. And now that BMC authorities and the policemen who are all there, to sever the electricity and the water connection, etc., is only to make them understand that the law has to be followed. And even if they may have sympathies for each occupant, yet they have to follow the orders of the courts and implement the law.